Hi, welcome back to my channel. Trade school update. I'm continuing to study to become a machinist, and I'm having a ball. This is a brand new workshop because I have moved to Metro Atlanta. And because of that move, I have transferred to a school called Lanier Tech. This semester, I'm studying heat treatment and surface grinding. I'm also taking Intro to Welding. I'm also taking small business management because I have some aspirations to own a small business. Finally, I'm taking mechanical physics, basically an intro physics class, because I want to learn more about how parts work together and things and science and all of that thing that I don't know much about. So I'm excited. I wanted to go over a couple of things that I've learned in my first 2 weeks of this semester at this new school. First of all, in heat treatment and surface grinding. This is a really interesting part of machining that you don't really kind of hear much about. I've been doing a lot of like lathe work and mill work, and you make the part. To make it functional, sometimes parts need to be hardened. So that's where the heat treatment comes in.
We put these parts in an oven and raised the temperature to around 1500 degrees. Once they had sat at that temperature for about 5 minutes, we had to quench them in oil. This part is really fun because the top layer of oil can catch fire. It's really satisfying.
Nice job, fellas.
The heat treatment process and the burnt oil can leave the part looking really gross.
My instructor said, well, if you want to get all the gunk off of it, we can take it over to motorsports and sandblast it. And I was like, well, yeah, I've never worked with a sandblaster. I've always wanted to. So I was able to go and try out a sandblaster for the first time.
According to Wikipedia, sandblasting is the operation of forcibly propelling a stream of abrasive material against a surface under high pressure.
I was really excited that I got to do that. I mean, I'm just like grinning like as I'm doing it. So after I got my part prepared, I was able to get my hands on a grinder for the first time. You place the part on a magnet on this bench, you wind it back and forth, and you're basically using a grinder to grind off just little bits. And the reason you do that is because now that it's heat treated, it's too hard to be machined anymore. And so you want to get it to that tolerance that you just can't get to on a mill or a lathe. Every pass of this grinder is taking off about 5/10 thousandths of an inch. So 0.0005 of an inch each pass. And so you got to go all the way across, and then you lower it again, and you go all the way across until you get it within I think the tolerance is 0.003 of what you need it to be. And otherwise you've blown it apart, you got to start over.
Once I completed the grinding operations to the correct depth, I checked the part against high precision gauge blocks. And look at that, I'm 1/10,000ths under, which fits within the tolerance of plus or minus 3/10,000ths.
I was just getting used to working with, thousandths, so 0.001. This is 0.0001. I hate to be a little bit nerdy about it, and it may be a little bit boring to some people, but it's also really fascinating. So, things that I never in a million years thought I would be doing or saying or even being excited about, but I'm excited. I need a life, but this is a really fun life. As you can see, the finish on this thing is just better than you could ever do on a mill or a lathe. It is gorgeous. So after I finished this project, I got a little bit of a sneak peek of what the next step is, and that's using an NC grinder, which is a numerical controlled grinder. So not computer controlled, numerical controlled, and it does the motion for you. And let me tell you, that will be heaven because, leaning over and winding your arm back and forth, whew, it hurts the back. So in my welding class, I was able to try Oxyfuel welding, and Oxyfuel is a combination of oxygen and some kind of fuel. So in this case, I was using acetylene. And so in the movies, you would recognize Oxyfuel tanks, usually cutting, is when you have the thing and then you click the spark and it goes, and then you hold up the glasses and you can cut things or whatever. What we were doing was the welding side, so it was not cutting, but the joining of two metals. And let me tell you, it is hard, but it's okay. We were just trying it to get a taste of it. Apparently Oxyfuel welding is not used much at all. Most people say they just do it in school and then they move on. In the real world, it's, you know, TIG and MIG and stick welding. And, you know, I was really excited to get the experience of trying it. You feel like Tony Stark, you know, with the torch in your hand. So that's my update for my first few weeks here, my new semester in trade school. I highly recommend, if you have any inkling of like trying to go into a new field, or if you're in high school and you're thinking about, you know, options, man, like trade school is super fun. Like if I could just go from trade school major to major to major, I think I would really enjoy that, because I just love learning new things, and I love getting to meet different people, like the instructors at my school. I mean, these guys are just super cool. They've got so much experience. They got great stories. And then the students are just kind of getting to know where they come from, and getting to share my story of like, oh yeah, I was a producer for Disney and now I'm in machinist school. I mean, just getting to see people like, huh, that's odd. I mean, I've always got a conversation starter, that's for sure. I've had a lot of people that are just like, so what do you want to do with all this newfound knowledge and skills? The best I can say is I don't know. I kind of want to start a business at some point. I want to do something with machining and working with my hands. I'm still kind of exploring. I know that there's a reason that I'm doing all of this. It's leading somewhere. Don't know exactly where that's leading, but I'm loving it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the views and just the comments and the feedback and stuff. This is about to become more than this. Right now it's just a place for us to hold furniture that we're trying to sell. And if anybody wants any of that, hit me up. As you can see, I've been a little busy, but we'll get this workspace up and running. I'm excited for the new projects that I have planned, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks.